And today we're going to be looking at a scenario where Spain and Greece form empires at the same time and then go to war with each other. Let's get into it. So, this is something. So basically, these two are not at war, but they have their different colors. Spain being red and Greece being blue. They're both going to form empires at the same time. And after that, they're going to fight each other. Like I said in the intro. Totally kind of from a Norwegian, but who cares? Yeah, but let's. This is interesting. Spain in the modern world is stronger than Greece. But the thing is, Greece has the Balkans to go after, which is a lot of weak countries up here. But they do have foes like Turkey and Italy. And the Spanish have other areas. They could go colonial, but who wants to go colonial in the modern days? Let's get into it though. So the first thing that will be happening is Spain will be declaring war upon Portugal. And, well, I'll just be coloring the countries yellow or green respectively. Let's use green for the colors Spain are invading, well, the countries Spain are invading, and yellow for the ones Greece are invading. Yeah. Let's start this with the Spanish quickly entering their troops over into Portugal as they quickly go ahead and capture coastlines and continue to go down the coasts. Spain is a lot stronger than Portugal, and they quickly capture Lisbon, which warrants a peace treaty. And that peace treaty is going to be pretty simple: full annexation. And because of this new map style I made, that I spent a long time making, I can just do this. And now, Portugal's fully annexed into Spain. When we go over to Greece, the first two countries that the Greeks are going to be invading are Albania and North Macedonia. They will be invading these two because they are small, but who knows if they have population that is. But they will be sending their troops up over here and quickly going ahead and taking out Albania and getting to the borders of Kosovo and Montenegro. And a not so great friend of the Greeks. The Greeks aren't really liked by many here, but, well, this happens, and they both get fully annexed, which is going to be pretty simple. I can just wait. Yeah, I can send the map. Yeah. And these are what the empires look like so far. Let's go. Let's just be like switching back and forth. But where will Spain go next? They have an option. It's called Montenegro. They want control over this sea route, that is. And if they can get that, they might be able to buy Gibraltar, which might be pretty handy for controlling it. So the Spanish will be sending their navy throughout here over into Montenegro and will quickly be going ahead and taking the northern coast. And the Spanish are going to propose to the Montenegrins that, hey, if you just let us take this land, we won't take any more of your land. Unless you want to, right? Which Montenegro is going to accept. Morocco is going to accept this peace treaty. Yeah. And in the deal, Spain gets all of this land. And the Spanish have conquered a lot of Iberia, as they also go over to Andorra and just walk in there. And force Andorra to surrender, and yeah, very simple peace treaty. Fix this border real quick. Time to go back to Greece, as Greece is going to be invading another set of countries, being these three: Kosovo, Montenegro, and Bosnia. Yeah. They will mainly be starting over in Montenegro with troops that are up in Albania and Macedonia, and will be quickly going ahead and taking these areas as Kosovo pushes back a bit, or just has a defensive front. Talking about you? Let's just ignore you for the sake of the video. Yeah. But two more countries will be joining this conflict. Yeah. In those two countries, if I can remake that and go back on the layer because am I on the wrong layer again? Keep going on the wrong layer, but now I'm on the right layer. And the two countries that would join this war on a different side are Croatia and Serbia. Serbia is going after Kosovo, and Croatia is going after Bosnia. As the Serbians complete their mission, But the Croatians are going to be going ahead and, well, doing this. As the Greeks will also be going ahead and taking all the territories and forcing Bosnia to surrender. And we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, as these areas are divided. Who knows how long that's going to last. But don't forget, you can make allies and puppet states. They don't just attack countries and go after them. Yeah. So, well, Croatia is going to become an ally of the Greeks, and so is Serbia. And they are looking towards Bulgaria, which the Iberians are going to be, the Spanish are going to attempt to get allies elsewhere, like Bulgaria and Romania. And, well, this is not very good. Yeah. But in retaliation to that, the Spanish are going to be going ahead and invading, if I can color these in, the Tunisians. Because this is a pretty vital route to invade here. A pretty vital route. If they can control this, they basically control half the Mediterranean's trade. If you're going through the Suez Canal, you'd most likely go through both these points first to get there. Yeah. So basically, they want control of that. So they would be invading, sending their navy throughout this area, and quickly taking these northern parts. But very quickly, the Greeks are going to catch on to this and make another amphibious landing over in Tunisia. And this is going to be able to push back the Spanish when the war happens, as they will be both basically partitioning this country. And this thing is just going to surrender, and we can see the division of it. And this is the division of Tunisia. And, well, this is what the whole empire thing looks like. But remember, the Iberians can also get allies of their own. So they are looking towards countries that may not like Serbia or Greece. So Austria, Hungary, and Slovenia will be becoming allies of the Iberians. And they're looking towards Bulgaria as a potential ally. And that's what they are going to do. But the papers aren't signed as the Greeks declare war. As the Greeks will be going ahead and making their invasion of Bulgaria and quickly going ahead and taking these coastline bits, as the Serbians will also be invading. And, well, this is going to, well, basically partition Bulgaria, as Sofia is captured by Serbians, and we can look at the division of Bulgaria. And this is the peace treaty, as Bulgaria is divided, and Bulgaria becomes an ally. But then the Iberians are going to get another very useful ally against the Greeks. Nope, not that, but this. And Greece is kind of worried about, Turkey. That's a pretty big nation, and they're kind of surrounding them. So, the Greeks are going to get an ally of their own. A one that owns Corsica and you for some reason. I'll call you for no reason, but France is now an ally of the Greeks, and, well, Iberia is just surrounded. But the Greeks are also being surrounded. But there's Romania. They can get allies first. But another event will be happening. The partitioning of Italy by the Greeks and their allies. And very quickly, the Greeks will be sending their navy into the Italian peninsula and will quickly be able to take the southern Italian area. But the Iberians are then going to join in onto this by getting Sardinia, as they see that the Greeks are surrounding them. That's pretty big. As they will also be making an amphibious landing here. As the French will also be going ahead and invading into Italy, very quickly going ahead and taking these areas. And Austria, Hungary, or these nations, will also be going ahead and invading, as Italy is being very largely partitioned, as these areas are kind of, well, just destroyed, and Italy is going to just lose everything. as they lose all their territory, and the Greeks and the Iberians have a direct border with each other. But Sicily, who's going to get it? The Iberians will actually get it. And let's look at what the peace treaty of the partitioning of Italy looks like. This is what the partitioning of Italy looks like. As Italy is divided, but there's something going on. Algeria. Algeria is going to decide to join the sides of who are they gonna join? The Iberians or the Greeks? Yeah. Well, they were once part of France, and France is aligned with the Greeks, and Iberia has kind of gotten rid of their enemy, but they joined the side of the Iberians, which is a pretty large addition to this whole conflict. And a new ally is going to be centralized, and the Greeks are going to persuade the Libyans to join the side of them. This is because the Libyans do not like the Italians for what they did over like 80 years ago. Yeah, when colonization stuff. Just ask all of Africa, they'll know stuff about colonization. But they see that Greece has destroyed, alongside the Iberians, has destroyed Italy, a country they don't like. And they don't join the Iberians because they see that one of their countries that they don't like, Algeria, is on the side of the Iberians, so they join the Greeks. And this is what the whole conflict thingy looks like. Syria joins the side of the Greeks, and Romania. Well, welcome to the partitioning of another country. So basically, in this conflict partitioning, the Greeks and, well, the Serbians and the Hungarians, alongside other troops, will be invading over into this country. Like this. As Bucharest is taken very quickly in this war, and Romania, being basically gone at this point, is going to surrender, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, as Romania is divided and becomes a Greek ally. And now it's time for this war to start. Not like that, or like that, or like that, or like this, or like this. No, yeah, not like either of these, but how is it going to start? It's going to start over here with Tunisia. As Algeria is going to decide, let's invade Tunisia, or Greece, as they really want control of this subcoastline, and the Iberians will declare war, or the Spanish. Both these nations will go ahead and, well, be Tunisia, or the Greek colony of Tunisia. But this is going to warrant Greece declaring war, the Greek alliance to declare war on the Iberian alliance. Very quickly, French troops will go ahead and occupy this entire southern Italian area, as the Greeks will also be sending their navy over down here to occupy Sicily, which is done very quickly. But the Iberians will be able to go ahead and occupy Corsica and push back Morocco greatly, as, well, them joining the side of the Greeks kind of violated the treaty they made, and, well, they are getting the punishment for it, as they get destroyed. Yeah. But the French, will be able to push back in the Catalonian region, as they come with open arms. Yeah. But the Spanish will be able to push into some French territories here like this. As this is what the front line looks like. Over here, since the Greeks struck first, they will be able to quickly go ahead and capture Istanbul and make many naval landings throughout the Sea of Azov area, the Aegean Sea, I think. As they make many landings and capture a lot of this coastline, and eventually are able to occupy all this territory. But the Turkish are still strong, as they are able to quickly go ahead and wipe out Syria. As if you've seen before, Syria has fallen many times over to nations, specifically in the alternate scenario series, as Syria fell in the alternate history of the World Series. But the Algerians will also be going ahead and threatening the capital of Libya, which I'm pretty sure is either here or here. They just take it. Chipotle, I think, is the same. Yeah. The thing is, a lot of these Balkan troops are mainly focused on Hungary and, well, Austria, as the Romanians will go ahead and take back the Transylvanian territory, and will quickly be going and taking all this territory, collapsing Hungary. As these areas served as a distraction, but Austria is still pretty strong, so they're able to hold on until they can't hold on and they fall. But this will be able to cause the Spanish to push fully out of Catalonia, the French all the way out of Catalonia, and well, yeah, front line looks like this. And the Greeks are kind of not doing so well in Libya, so they will be sending some troops over there. And these troops are so good that they're able to fully push out these forces out of Libya and retake the capital. The Turkish, which are busy occupying Syria out of their civil war, is going to be going ahead and having their capital in Ankara being threatened, which is going to warrant them sending some troops back, as they will be able to capture the capital of Turkey within a matter of a few months. As this is roughly what the front line looks like, as Turkey is trying to fight back. But this will not so well for the Iberians, as the Greek troops, being super powerful and having much support everywhere, are going to be able to, well, push back a lot, as the Greeks make more landings across here, and eventually will be going ahead and taking these areas. The French will be able to recapture Corsica and reinvade into Spain, as they start to go ahead and start to threaten the capital of Spain, which is Madrid. If they can take Madrid, then the Greeks have won this war. Yeah. But we can see that Turkey is going to lose all those Syrian territories to Greece, and Turkey just simply surrenders. Yeah. And now it's just Algeria and Spain. Algeria, wanting to live, is going to make a deal and just surrender all their territory. And the Spanish don't like that. And what can you do? You can't. Are you going to invade them or something? Well, they're occupied, so you can't do that. Yeah. But well, the Iberians are fully pushed out of Morocco and are just gone. They're doomed. But they would surrender if they could, but I won't make them, as the Greeks would make more landings across over in this area. As they would be going ahead, and the French will actually be capturing Madrid. As well, the entire region is just going to be forced to surrender after the capital is taken, even though, well, I forced them not to earlier. And well, the Greeks have won this war. And I'm not going to, should we do a peace treaty? Yeah, sure. Let's do a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. As, well, Greece wins. Turkey still exists. Algeria is kind of, they didn't lose as much land as they thought they would lose. And the Union, or just Spain, is still around, but Portugal is separated. And well, basically, Greece won. Because, well, despite Spain being stronger, Greece won because of its allies. They had a lot of allies. Well, they had allies in Syria, Libya, France is the important one. Big one. What is it? Morocco? Yeah. Croatia, Bulgaria, Romania, and Serbia all were allies of Greece. And allies of the Spanish were Algeria, Turkey, Austria, Hungary, and Slovenia. So, well, they didn't have many allies, but because of Greece's allies, they won. But if it was just purely Greece was Greece was Spain, then Spain would have won. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed today's scenario. It was a little long one. See you in the next video, and bye.